Hey guys, it's JS Homecook, JS Home Cooking Channel. I'm gonna do another test video today. I got this goofy phone mount that attaches to headgear. If you look in the silhouette, you can almost see it. You can see my phone just right on my forehead there. So like I said, this is gonna be a test video to see how this thing works. I'll probably use it again for other videos. I did kind of like it. Although it was a little difficult to see past my phone there. I've got a big phone. And I think it'll take some adjusting to find the right angle for it. Anyway, I think during these test videos, mostly going to be talking about the channel, its direction, where I want to take it, upcoming videos, things like that. First, I want to tell you about my onions though. So recently I shot a video where I just prep a bunch of onions and I throw them in the fridge in a bag. And it's something I do occasionally. I don't do it all the time with my onions because, obviously I'm a person and sometimes I'm just lazy. And my rationale for doing that has always been that, I just kind of figure that if you peel all the onions, trim them up, and, put them in a bag together in the fridge, they'll last longer than if you just leave them in the bag that you buy from the store in their skins. So, as some cheap, quick content, I was going to share that little thing that I like to do with all of you. And then it occurred to me that I don't even know if it actually makes a difference. On one hand, sure, you're doing all your work at once and, maybe you'll get it done a little faster like that. And then in the future, whenever you need an onion, it's just, grab one and go. So there is that aspect to it that maybe is desirable, but I don't actually know if it's going to make your onions last longer. And I thought, well, maybe I probably shouldn't put out a video saying that they will. And then we went to Costco recently, and we didn't really need onions, but we could have bought some. I could make the argument that sure, we could buy some onions. So I did buy the onions. I actually bought 2 bags of onions, one big bag and one little bag of the red onions because I like both onions. I want both onions. It's just a little, luxury, make life a little more enjoyable. So I got the 2 bag of onions, and now I have all these onions, and I thought, well, why don't I put together a video where I just trim up like 3/4 of them or something and do the bag thing I'm talking about, and then the rest of them just leave them as they are in the bag and put both in the fridge and see if my onion prepping makes any difference whatsoever. So that's pretty much just what the footage here is. It's going to be me trimming up these onions, and you can see I'm setting some aside. Those are ones that are actually like, once I've peeled them, I can tell they're not in the greatest of shape. And maybe that's a strength to doing this onion prepping as well. You can see what onions are bad onions and take them out before they spoil the rest of them, if onions do that. I really don't know if they do, but I assume probably. And every once in a while, I'm going to hold up an onion to the camera. And I'm pretty sure every single time I'm doing that, I'm just trying to show you like a little blemish or a little mold spot on the onion. And it's supposed to be kind of like a, whoa, good thing I'm catching this moldy onion kind of like moment or whatever. Kind of silly, but, I do think there is merit to doing it. You catch these things early on, and then hopefully if you separate it from the other onions or you wash it off, it won't be an issue that grows larger later. Or at least maybe slows it down so the onion lasts longer and you actually get to use it instead of throwing it out. And guys, I know, like, onions are cheap, I know, but still, you work hard for your money. I work hard for my money. I don't want to waste it on food that I throw away and don't eat. Especially when I know that this onion was most likely picked by a foreign migrant worker who's getting paid minimum wage to do, like crappy labor jobs. And, this onion was probably shipped hundreds, if not a couple thousand kilometers from where it was grown to where I am here. And then all the effort that goes into displaying it and, the energy for the lights in the store and cooling it. Do they cool onions? Maybe. My point just is that, a lot of effort goes into this onion and getting somebody to buy it. So if I'm going to, involuntarily support this system, where the main driving force is simply somebody else profiting and commerce, I guess, I just don't want the onion to go to waste in the end of it all. Anyway, so yeah, the test footage is just me cleaning up the onions here, and then, we're just going to keep tabs on these onions over the next few videos. Every single time I go grab one or use one, we'll just look at the bag and see how each bag is doing. And for all you scientists out there, I'm sure you're very curious about my methodology here, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So to give the onions that are left in their skins and just in like the bag from the store the best chance possible, I actually selected the onions that I thought were in the best of condition. And then all the other onions are the ones that I peeled and trimmed, and you'll see later I washed them too and dry them off. So the research methods for this experiment aren't particularly rigorous. You know, my sample isn't random. There's going to be bias. Yeah. This is really only an experiment in the colloquial sense. You know, I myself am not a scientist, such as my friend Big D, who is a microbiologist, if any of his fans out there are wondering. So I really shouldn't be held to the same standard as a scientist would be for, conducting an experiment. But again, I digress a little too much here, so yeah, we'll finish off with these onions, and just in future videos, I'll give you all updates on how the onions are doing, and you guys can use this information however you see fit, whether you choose to do something like this or not. It's all up to you. Maybe you just eat lots of onions and get through them super fast. I'll just share another couple details here and then be finished talking about the onions, start talking about other stuff. Couple of safety tips, maybe. When peeling an onion with your hands, be careful of the skin getting in between your fingernail and the nail bed. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it hurts pretty bad. So you can use a knife if there's a bit of onion skin that's particularly tough to get rid of. But if you've been watching the video, you saw me do that. You'll notice I cut the video there. I just don't really want to show my whole house. But yeah, so just rinse the onions off and then wipe them with a towel. Put them in a Ziploc bag. I like putting a little bit of paper towel in with them as well. I don't really know if that makes a difference, but I believe that, it might somehow assist with the humidity level or something. Again, not a scientist. Okay, so I don't really have anything else to say about the onions now. Start talking about the channel, some of the videos. I'm trying to upload a video every 2 days or so. That's kind of the schedule I want to keep for the first little while, and then, eventually, I think maybe go down to video every 4 days or something like that. And I actually do already have quite a few edited, ready to go. I just haven't scheduled or uploaded them because I just kind of wanted to do this video first and talk about some things that I don't know, I feel like I need to talk about. I'm having some trouble figuring out, what kind of tone I want for this channel. I feel like the last few I've uploaded have started getting a little goofy. And it's content like this video right here, which I think I prefer. I like this. This feels more real. I'm not really into the whole, performative thing. I just don't like it. Yet at the same time, the reality is that all content is performative, right? Like, I'm not just talking about YouTube, theater, everything. It's all performative. And that's just to say that, the verisimilitude, the lifelikeness of anything, any content, it's always in question, right? That's all I'm saying. Regardless, the next few videos that come up are going to be very similar in vein to the last couple that came out in terms of, the tone, because I've already recorded and edited them, cut them the way I want them. So, I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to upload them and let them speak for themselves. But after that, I think I'm not too sure what the videos will be like. There'll probably still be a few that are like that, and then maybe more that are like this. Not too sure. These onions on the plate, by the way, so those are the ones that I set aside, and I thought, looking at them, geez, these ones are not in the greatest of shape. So I'm not going to put those in the bag with the other ones, right? Those ones I'm going to keep separate, and I'm going to use those onions first, like right away, because I believe they have the least amount of legs as far as longevity goes. And here's just a shot of our basement fridge where we, store all our overstock. You'll notice a lot of condiments. Yeah, that's the second bag of onions there, the red ones. I think it's just 5 in that bag. It's the little bag. So I'm just going to do exactly what I did with the other bag with these onions, except I'm going to trim up all of the onions except for one. And that's just because these onions were kind of expensive, and I just, don't think I need to start rambling about the industrial farming complex again. So anyway, I was talking about the videos and where I see this channel heading as far as future videos are concerned. I think, yeah, like I said, probably more stuff like this. I really do enjoy this, and it's actually way faster doing the audio for this than the other ones. It's just more natural, and I feel more comfortable doing it. Kind of has like a podcasty sort of vibe, and yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like it. I can lull people to sleep with with my cooking videos. I guess that's what people use podcasts for these days, hey, falling asleep. But I will still also do ones that are kind of like the ones that are going to be coming up in the next few days here. Just maybe a little more toned down. I just like, almost start cringing thinking about about the ones that I've edited already. And then I also think that, I'd also would like to do some videos that aren't really centered around the cooking. As I've mentioned in videos, we have a garden. I really do like gardening. We have a big garden. And sharing our knowledge about that would be nice. Maybe a video on composting. The compost we have in our compost bin is almost ready, so, that could be a potential upcoming video. We'll see. We also have a pretty big project coming up with one of the spare rooms we have here. Um, this website had a pretty big sale on grow tents, grow lights, that sort of stuff. And, although we already do have a grow tent and a pretty good grow lamp, we decided we just wanted to get a little bit of a bigger tent and another lamp. So thinking about turning that room into a little grow operation and filming, the progression of that might be an interesting little series of videos. I'm intending to build a cabinet for plant propagation, so that could also be a video, I guess, maybe. And wrapping up here, I think I'm just going to talk about some of the videos that I've already edited and will be coming up within the next few days or so. So the next video that comes out is going to be a lamb wrap that I made with some of that leftover lamb roast. And, the wrap itself was actually awesome. I'm very proud of the wrap. The video, kind of just whatever, like I say. I don't really like that style of content. And originally that video was going to come out a couple of days ago, but, like I said, I wanted to do this video first. I also actually made a short to promote that lamb video, and it's everything that, I imagine a short to be. Just obnoxious and annoying. I really don't get YouTube shorts. Like, I understand it's meant to compete with TikTok, but that short form content, I just don't really understand it. But I thought it might be, kind of interesting to see, well, if I make one to promote this lamb wrap video, will that increase traffic? Because, my videos only get like 5 views, except for watermelon. Everybody thought I might cut my hand off, I think, with that knife in the thumbnail. So I think that's why watermelon has so many views. And by many, I mean like 50, right? Like, it's not a lot of views, but it's definitely way more than my other videos. So my lamb wrap video and the short to promote it, those are going to come out like maybe later today or tomorrow. And in the lamb wrap video, I tease, 2 other things that there is footage for. One of them is good to go. I don't know when I'll upload it. And then I also have a video for some dehydrated tomatoes. And, I'm just telling you guys, absolutely try it sometime, please. You'll love it. If you like tomatoes, it's amazing. It's more of a project for like a lazy weekend day though, so plan ahead. Don't plan on doing this on like Friday night or something. It takes a while. The results are definitely worth it though. And then I also have these roasted vegetables I made one day, and those were really good. I've actually made it again since, and that'll probably come out right after the lamb wrap video. But I'm out of footage here, and I'm still learning DaVinci, so if I slow down the speed on the video, it's going to screw up all my audio, and I just don't want to deal with that right now. So I'm just going to end the video here, and it's just, suffices to say that there's going to be a few videos coming up that are similar to the last couple that came out, and then they're going to be a little different, I think. Unless you all just really like that style of content, and then, I don't know, I guess let me know. Thanks for watching and listening. Be coming back with a bunch of videos soon. Bye for now.